Hi guys, Debbie Dubois here. I am doing my weekly love reading for Sunday, May 12th through Saturday, May 18th. I want to say thank you for being here with me. Um, let's get started. Okay, I'm gonna give a shuffle here. We're gonna take a look at a bunch of things that we want to know about our love relationship for the coming week. Okay? And before I get started, I do want to remind you, if you like my video, please press the like button and subscribe to my channel if you feel so led to do that. If you want to see more of my readings come through your feed, just push the bell and that will ensure that when I put out a new reading, it'll come through your feed. I want to say thank you so much for those of you who watch my videos and those who comment. I love commenting back. It's fun to see how people, resonate with what I have to say, or they like to add what they have to say. I really enjoy that. And I've gotten more and more into doing these readings because of the fact that I have a tool now that really enables me to, I want to say, tune in. It's the perfect permission slip for me to tune into my higher knowing. And those of you who know me, I'm a pretty intuitive person. But working with the cards, I'm working, by the way, with the Intuit Oracle. And it's a little bit different than any other Oracle deck I've ever worked with. It is the only one I'm using right now. Except for clarifiers. Sometimes clarifiers, it's just for fun. I'll pull cards and I may do that today. I don't know. I'll see what I'm led to do. But these cards just give such a deep, multi-leveled choice for me to tune into. And I was always one of those oracle readers, and I'm not a really huge tarot. I've done some tarot, but I've always relied on, the book. And not so much, I'm just not a memorizer. I don't memorize stuff. And but always words will jump out at me. So I've always known as soon as I see the words of the book, I know which words come right out. It's like boom, boom, boom. They jump out at me and they tell me what I need to know. These cards eliminate me having to have a book because I've got the words sitting right there. And a lot of other words come to me as well from the energy of the pictures. So I really love working with these cards, and it's made me want to do these readings more. So I feel really blessed. Because I've had a lot of people say from the videos that I've done so far that they're enjoying them and that they're pretty accurate for them. But I'd love to know how you feel about the video, so you just leave me a message if you want under the comment section. All right, what we're going to do is we're doing a weekly love reading, and we're going to see what does the coming week look like for you. All right, so that's our first question. And this deck works really well with questions. I use it all day long for clarifiers to things I'm doing for work. I'm always pulling cards. It gives me the focus that I need to tune into my higher self and find the answers to problems that I'm having and things like that. We're going to ask, what does the coming week look like for you? We've got the tracks. Let me see. Got a little bit of a shine on that card. We've got the tracks. Oh, wow. Okay. We've got the tornado. Don't panic. I see tornado and go, wah! Nope. There's always a good positive thing. That's what I love about these cards too. Is that it's always a positive message. I mean, really, seriously, everything in life really is a positive message. It's just the perspective that you're looking at it. And Source just speaks to me and kind of gives me an idea of what the positive spin on things is. What is the higher perspective? Because when you look at the lower perspective, sometimes we're like, what the heck? All right, well, I'm going to say this week, the central card, and I say that these three cards, the central card is the overall arching energy of the spread there. So we've got some things coming that are going to stir things up, okay? They're going to destroy unhelpful patterns is what's coming to me. It's going to It's going to break apart and tear up some of the things that have been keeping us stuck. All right. It's going to be, you are going to feel like, I'm done doing this. I am done doing this. Whatever this represents, this is you deciding, I'm done with that. All right. And the beautiful thing is that it could creep up on you very unexpectedly when you last, or when you're least thinking about it. And you will feel very liberated after it's all said and done. Sorry, and you can see the focus is going in and out a little bit. But so I really like to see the tornado, because to me, the tornado means I'm making progress. I can't stand when I'm just sitting there and things are floating along and when, you know what, if you got something to throw it at me so I can get it over with and get on with things. But that's just me. The other thing is that I'm also getting that on the geopolitical scale, we've got some stuff going on. Okay? That's a big thing that I'm getting right now. The storm is coming. There's going to be some unexpected ends to things, but it's all for liberation. Everything that's happening right now is all to liberate us. And that may seem really hard to believe, because it doesn't seem that way, especially if you're listening to television or whatever's happening. I'm very strongly sure that whatever storm we have going on right now is going to have a liberation. And I love this card for that reason. Bring on the storm. I want to be liberated. Okay. And that's an attitude. So, no matter what this thing is that's happening to you, and we all have something happening to us, whatever that storm is for you, just remember, it's going to liberate you. It's going to make you stronger. It's going to make you feel more confident in where you're going. Now let's look at this card paired with the other cards that are with it, and then you see what I'm saying, all right? Here you go, the tracks. So this is forward movement. This is telling you, stay the course. Do exactly what you're doing. Don't deviate. Don't go off on some tangent. Don't stop along the way, get off the tracks, go, smell the roses or whatever. Unless the roses are on the tracks, stay on that track because you are going in the right direction and everything is happening as it's supposed to. And it's interesting because when I think about the geopolitical that I just brought up, the autopilot word jumps out at me. Autopilot it's all predestined. Everything that we're going through right now is all predestined. It's already planned. It's already made up. You're watching the movie. And there's a one-way track. We can't get off the track, people. We are on this track to make this huge shift and change. And it's going to look like a storm, but it's going to be worth it. Because guess what? It's going to get you to the destination that you want to get to. All right? So the tornado and the storm is a great card. This showing up for a weekly reading tells me that there's going to be some big things happening. So, ear to the ground, ignore it, whichever you prefer. It doesn't matter. It's happening. All of it's happening, which is great. And you know what? It doesn't have to affect you at all, anything that's happening. Look at this now. On the other side of it, we've got success. So, as we liberate whatever it is, we end up, succeeding. And it may take a little bit of persistence to get through that storm. You might have to go hide out in one of those underground, the underground things that movie Twister, go sit in one of those things. Don't be the dumb dad that's holding onto the door. You might want to get down in the basement. But the important thing is that you actually are going to end up with a very successful week. Okay? And you will, it's some things that you're working on are going to come to completion. Maybe it is that liberation. Something comes to a completion and it's a great thing because it puts you at the top. It's that completion that helps you finish first. And you have worked really hard for that. You've worked really, really hard for that. So you deserve it. You deserve it. Okay, so that's the overall arching energies. I can't wait to see what the rest of these cards are. Oops, we got the wrong order here. The Tracks was my first card, I think. Yes. Okay, so that's what's the overall arching energy, what the coming week looks like for you. So I want to ask, how are you feeling about your week? What is it that you're feeling? Okay. Well, we got the Letter. All right. Interesting. You want to know what? I have two questions in front of me that have been kind of going back in between, back and forth, and it's that what are you feeling and what are you doing? This is what you're doing. So this part of the reading, we'll ask what you're feeling. We'll ask what you're feeling next, but what you're doing, because this is all active. Okay, so we got Mercury as well. All right, interesting. So what are you doing? The main theme of what you're doing is you're getting rid of stuff, unwanted stuff. Unwanted stuff, meaning it could be emotional stuff. It could be tasks. It could be anything really, but you're working on getting rid of something that is getting in your way. When we sweep away stuff, it takes a lot of effort, but guess what? You end up with a nice clean floor and it feels really good on your feet. So it's a necessary part of success. And let's see how it's coupled. Okay. It's coupled with the Letter, which I think of as being more formal communications. So you might be getting rid of a bunch of things in your inbox, the stuff that you need to take care of. You may be spending time mailing the bills out, looking at records, like you might be working on a mortgage refinance or, gosh, a divorce, anything that requires like official communications, and getting rid of stuff. Getting rid of the fact that, like if you're paying your bills, you're getting rid of, the stuff that's sitting there piled up on your desk. You may be going through your things and getting rid of, things that don't mean anything to you anymore. But chances are a lot of the work that you're doing what you're doing has to do with physical communications of some kind, making contact. All right, and also, it's funny, I didn't see this, but news is there. So I do believe that there's news coming of changes and things that are happening. So the news card, the news word is sitting right there. We're also going to look at, getting rid of, but combined with Mercury. Okay, Mercury is all about communication, right? It's interesting because this is more electronic. This is more like, I want to say, dealing with, ideas and expressions through online. Again, it goes with the communications, the emails, the faxes, the official records. So we've got another communication card. So that may have something to do with what you're trying to get rid of, You're putting in the work to get something done, and it does have to do with communications. It does have to do with something official or something more structured, as opposed to chatting or talking on the phone or those kinds of things. You see what I'm saying? Formal communication. All right, so that's kind of what you're doing. I am going to see if we get some cards on what you're feeling. We've gotten, let me see here. No, we haven't gotten anything on that yet. Let's look. Okay, what are you feeling? How do you feel about all of this? What are you feeling? Okay, you might be feeling a little bit secretive. The squirrel. The squirrel kind of keeps to itself and kind of gathers up the nuts secretly. Let's see what else we get. How are you feeling? Okay, the key is, let me see here. There we go. We've got the key. And we have the firefly. Okay, so let's look at these. How are you feeling? Well, you're definitely feeling like you've got the answers to some of the things that you've got going on right now. You feel like you're getting it. You have some clarity. You feel that you're getting to the place where you are able to control through locking and unlocking doors. You know, it's like you have a little bit of control that you can decide what's most beneficial for you, whether it's to unlock that door or just to lock it up and leave it. You're in a period of time where you're feeling like, you know, you're smart, that you are able to carve out solutions. There's a little bit about I want to say with the firefly, that you are feeling that there's an exceptional inner fire that you have. And there is a piece of you that is feeling very, very accomplished from a spiritual standpoint. That there's some magic. But there is a piece of you that maybe, I don't know if it's a situation that you're having where you're feeling a little bit, I want to say, maybe even a little guilty because you're being a little secretive, or you might not be saying what you want to say. In other words, I want to say you might have some feelings like, oh, I really wanted to say something. It says giving lip service, but I guess what I'm picking up on is, you know, there's miscommunication because you don't yet feel like you can literally say what you want to say. But otherwise, you're feeling pretty good about your ability to solve problems. You are the key. You are the solution. And I think you see that. There's a piece of you that really does know your soul, really does feel that. It may just be that there's just a little bit of the ego in play this week, you know. Be careful not to scold yourself is what I'm getting. You know, be careful not to be too hard on yourself. Because I see that as being, you know, this could be the ego coming out to be a little bit, I don't know, but I feel like you're not communicating what you want to say. But just remember, you are the key. You are the solution to the situation. So I would definitely keep that in mind. If you're trying to be secretive, you know, if you don't want to say what's on your mind, you might want to, because this is where the spiritual illumination comes in. You can illuminate the whole situation with that firefly, because you are the key, you are the answer to that. So that's a little bit about that. Now, what is the energy between you and your primary love interest? We're going to find that out. Or so I'll just put these cards like that. So what's the energy between you and your primary love interest? We've got the road. All right, we got the road. We got Pluto, planetary influencer card. It's the death card in the traditional tarot. And just because it's the death card, we know it doesn't mean the death, right? All right. And, oh, good. We also got a rider. Okay, so the question is, what is the energy between you and your primary love interest? Well, we have the transformation card. That's the Phoenix. So there is some deep change that's going on. There's some inner transformative, transformative energies, in the Death card. So the relationship is in the midst of a transformation process. But the rider, pairing it with the rider, it means it's going pretty quickly. It's moving. There's a green light on it. There's progress. I love to see the rider with that card, with the transformation. I love that. Now, there is also, which is interesting, the roads, which is the crossroads, which means there's multiple choices. That may mean that while this relationship that you're primarily interested in is in the transformational process, you may still have some choices, some opportunities to weigh what your options are. In other words, that primary love interest, may seem like everything that you want, but it's possible that you're going to get a chance to see some contrast, multiple choice. You're at a crossroads, so some of you may find that, even though there's transformation going on and you can see it, you're not necessarily like stuck in that one road. You might feel that you have some options there. But regardless what's happening is the transformation process is happening rather quickly. That is indicated by the horse. Yeah, there's progress there. So that's really encouraging. This is the energy between you and your primary love interest. Okay? Now, that may also mean that, since it's between the two of you, it may also mean that they may have a couple of opportunities and looking at that, weighing their options. So while I know we always hope that that's not the case, the truth is that I believe this so strongly. What is meant to be will be. If someone did come along as another option for the other person, it's same for you. It's contrast. Contrast always shows you what you prefer. That's the purpose of it. But we ask what's the interest. This is the main focus, is this transformation process. This change has to take place. So whatever it does, it takes place, whether that's you or him, you and him, or her and him, whatever. Him and, sorry, I always get really messed up when it comes to genders because I just always assume I'm talking to my girls, but, I know that I'm not. So you know what I'm trying to say. But whatever it is, this rider says this is happening quickly. So even if you pair it with the crossroads and the multiple options, someone may come in, you may go, oh yeah, go on a few dates, and then you're like, no, that's not what I want. So anyways, that is a little bit about what's the energy between you and your primary love interest. So now let's go on and find out, how is your love interest, this is your primary love interest, how are they feeling about you right now? Where are they at? How do they feel about you right now this week? How do they feel? Oops, right, I got two. Okay, so the first card is the bouquet. And I do believe this card came out too, so I'm going to take it. All right, so we got the stallion. That's great. And let's see what this other card is. Oh, we got Venus. I love the planetary influencers. They're so pretty. Very, very pretty. So we have Venus, love of Venus shining down. All right, so these are really good favorable cards for how they're feeling about you. I like that the stallion is in the middle. That's the driving force, okay? That is that desire, the passion for you, and they're happy. They're happy when they think of you. They're grateful that they have someone like you. And gosh, you've got the love cards all over the place. So really, really good cards for how are they feeling about you right now. This is where they're at energetically. When I see this tame versus the wild, it's kind of like, this is where they balance. Sometimes if you don't see this driving force, they're really trying hard to keep it in check. In other words, they're trying to keep balance. So even if they might feel like really wild about you, they might be trying to keep that in check. But there's a definite underlying passionate desire, a very great attraction, Happiness on both sides. We've got pleasure and happiness in Venus, and that's the influence on here. And then we also have happy, harmonious energy with the bouquet. So it's sincere. So this is, really, really positive as to how they're feeling about you. Now, let's find out, what does your love interest need from you right now? What do they need from you? And I've noticed that just because they feel that way for you doesn't always mean they need you to contact them or that they need to see you, or, it just depends. I mean, it depends on your situation. Whether you see them all the time or whether you see them on occasion or if you never see them. But what do they need from you right now on the bigger scale? What do they need? Well, here we go. This is interesting. We've got third party. It almost feels like we're getting permission that if you do find someone and, you're like exploring your options, that's not a bad thing, that they're from a higher perspective saying, hey, that's okay. I approve, because it needs to happen for you to get to where you're going. What do they need? The waterfall. This is the second card, which is the primary card, actually. And let's see. Oh, we got another planetary influencer, and that's the moon. Okay. That's a spontaneous, instinctual card. All right, so what do they need from you right now? The primary thing that jumps out is they need you to release whatever energy and emotion that you have around that connection. Release it. Whether it's joy, express it. If it's upset and emotional, trauma or whatever, release it. I want to say paired with the third party, if it does happen to be that the person that you are focused on and this person happens to explore their options, like we had just expressed, that, they want you to, well, first of all, release it and let it go, which is easier said than done, but to allow yourself to have the emotions you have about it. Let those emotions flow on past. Now, more than likely, I would say the chances are, and I'm going to go with this very strongly, from everything that I know, this more likely is you with somebody else. Even for a short period, even if it's just, oh, I think this person's nice, I want to talk to them more. The weighing the options, this is you. And that person, your love interest, is saying, it's okay. They want you to know it's okay. That it's part of the process. The moon card, let me tune into this card with the waterfall. Well, the waterfall and the moon, it's all very, it's that flowing, I want to say the water is, of course, the ebb and the flow that the moon brings to us, the ebb and the flow, and that this is what they need from you right now, right? So they need you to allow for that ebb and flow, which that ebb and flow would be that if you were exploring another option or saying, hey, of course I feel this way for this person, but, I'm also exploring what my needs are, that's okay. It is what's going on between the inner and outer worlds of, I want to say, this is what your love interest needs from you right now, is for you to, continue to, when we go into the waterfall, we're talking about exploring emotions and feeling the emotions and allowing them to flow. This moon gives you that, ability to go there. And that's what your other, your love interest, that's what that's what they need from you right now. They need you. Actually, this is what I'm getting. They need for you to get to that place. They need you to do whatever exploring you need to do, to release whatever you need to release, to take a look at what other options that there might be. Because you're never going to get to where you're going if something comes in front of you and you don't allow yourself to explore it. then you're not necessarily going to be where they're at, which is in a pretty good place with all the love, you know. What should you focus on to benefit this connection? All right, what should you focus on? And I'm going to do something. I'm going to put the love card right here on the third person because I just want to say that I guess there's so many of you that I've spoken with lately that have even said to me, gosh, I really, really still love the person that I'm thinking of as my twin flame, but I don't know if I want to be with that person for whatever reason. They're in their power. They're feeling, I want you to see this as a very loving thing, that it's a very great thing, to keep your options open. This is where they're really at deep down, whether they're expressing it or not. Doesn't matter if they're expressing it. They might not be in contact with you at all. They're just going, da, 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 this is how I feel about this person, and I'm just doing something else. You know? They might be keeping you in their heart, but you are at a place where you can be a little bit free of that. And in a way, it's a reflection because they're feeling kind of free too. They're feeling kind of like, wow, I feel really comfortable with this situation. All right. So what should you focus on to benefit your connection? What are the things you might want to focus on? Well, that's interesting. Focus on, let me see if I can get a clearer picture of this. There we go, the rabbits. Oh, all right, well, I don't know. Let's look at this. Huh. All right. And the scythe. This is what you should focus on to benefit your connection. All right. Let me look here. Well, this is interesting. This might take me a minute to just kind of figure this out. Okay, I never think that you should focus. This is just my own personal, my aside. I never think you should focus on jealousy. You shouldn't focus on backstabbing or silent treatment. But what I'm thinking is that this card may be coming up because you may find that comes up. You may be forced to focus on that. It's like, I hate to say it, but this card comes along with this card, jealousy, deception, whether you're feeling like you're being deceptive or if you think that your love interest is being deceptive, hey, this is where this person is with you, all right? This loving place. This is where they are with you. Whatever they do aside from that, that's what their soul needs. But as far as how they feel about you, we've got that clear energy. But what is it that you may be focusing on is, and this wasn't with this card, I'm sorry, I just brought that over. The fact that we have the rabbits, which is new beginnings, and it's about a lot of, it could be about sex. It could be about desire to have sex. It could be about, hey, let me go have sex with someone new. And I'm just going to say that this is where that option may come in, okay? That's where for you that option may come in, but that may cause some situations where there is some jealousy. Now, either you're going to have some jealousy maybe, or they're going to have some jealousy maybe. There may be a little bit of silent treatment going on, but this right here, this sudden experience is what I'm getting. The sudden experience. Well, it may be a little bit shocking to the system to go through this. That, again, didn't I get to liberate? I did in that tornado. In the beginning, the tornado. Liberate. So maybe this storm, I mean, I hate to say it, but maybe this storm is having to do something with this relationship. Now, this can be a sudden ending. No, sorry, I take that back. It's not. It's a release. And it is a liberation. And it's a harvest. So a lot of times it is a very, very good thing. The Scythe can be a very, very good card. It could say you'd have something accidentally happen unexpectedly or whatever. It's not that it doesn't have that possibility in there for some people, I guess. But what I'm getting is, and these are hard cards to read for me because, of course I don't ever like to say, oh, this or that. But I do feel that Source is letting us know that, if there's a possibility that you are checking out options, that it's possible that there will be a little bit of jealousy, or you're feeling a little jealousy. This will be an issue. This could be an issue, and you may have to focus on it, like letting it go. So it's coupled with the new beginnings, and with the word liberate. So I'm thinking very much so that if this energy does go on, I'd like to clarify that a little bit, okay? I'd like to clarify. I'm trying to think, what can I say to clarify this? What can we do to lessen this? What can we do to lessen whatever this impact is? The jealousy, the silent treatment, maybe the little bit of misunderstanding, or feeling the deception or betrayal going, is there anything that we can do? What can we do to lessen this, if at all possible? Okay, got the magnet. We got the butterfly. And we got the falcon. Okay, this is perfect. All right, the main card is Metamorphosis. Be open. You are going through a metamorphosis. In order to go through a metamorphosis, we have to let go of jealousy, possessiveness, backstabbing, hurt, pain, ugliness, all of that stuff. We have to get rid of it. We have to transform like the caterpillar to the butterfly. So in essence, all of this that might happen is for the betterment of your soul. And Spirit is saying that if you stay connected to your higher self, it makes the process a lot easier. Always remember that higher purpose, why you're here. And let me see here. That goes kind of along the lines of, going to the head of the pack, that successful completion. The higher self is the key to it all. So our answer to our question, and then we throw in the magnet here. What we desire, we attract. If we stay focused on that metamorphosis, if we stay focused on the fact that we are evolving in our soul, that each of the experiences that we ask for is doing that, we start drawing to us what we have, what we need. It acts as a magnet, right? To bring us all the things that we need to have this happen. So don't forget that. You literally drew whatever's happening to you, most likely during an ascension process here, is to shift it, right? So that eagle, or the falcon is about, tuning into the higher self and focusing. And it is ultimately a victory card, and it's right next to the Metamorphosis, the butterfly. So that's the answer, Source's answer. I'm going to put these cards, let me see here, to any of the things that you might be forced to focus on. in the coming week, the storm, whatever that storm is, the answer is always try to stay in your higher self and remember, be conscious of what you're doing this for. All right, we're going to ask a question now about what your love interest is dealing with. We kind of see what you're going to be dealing with in some respect or some form or fashion. Let's find out what they're going to be faced with. What are they dealing with? The Tower, standing alone in their little structure that they have going on. Got another planetary influencer, Mars. Okay. Wow. Okay. Interesting. Oh my gosh, another card like that. Moose. Which is time alone. So what are they dealing with? Well, the main energy. Now just remember, whatever they're dealing with, this is how they feel about you. Okay? They're feeling this about you. So whatever they're going through really doesn't have anything to do with you, is what I'm getting. What they're going through, the Tower. It's the Tower energy. That is, that destructive, very, it's all survival. It's the survival of whatever it is they're trying to hang on to. It's very powerful. I don't want to say negative energy, but it's very intense energy. It's intense energy. So while they're feeling all this about you, they got something going on. This is where they are. They got something going on. They feel this way about you, but they have something going on. They are pretty much standing on their own. All right? Look at this. Time alone, protecting yourself and loved ones. It's a very imposing, powerful energy. It's very independent. And they're in their very masculine, stand in their power, survival energy. And the Tower is stand alone. Now, maybe they're dealing with, we've got here all the government, hierarchy, institution. This is all the, I want to say, worldly structure. Maybe they're dealing with this. Maybe they're dealing with the passionate, powerful energy about what's happening on a global scale. Maybe they're focused on it. There's a lot of stuff going on right now in that respect. But they're feeling, it's funny, I want to say they're feeling like patriots. They're feeling like I'm going to stand and protect myself and my family. And, they're really in their very masculine energy. So that's kind of what they're dealing with. Now, this could be their job, but I don't think so. I don't know. It could be for some, right? And some it isn't. But it's definitely the hierarchical kind of energy. And they are standing strong. They're standing strong. Okay. So what does your higher self want you to know for the coming week? What do we want to know for the coming week? Higher self has a message for you for the coming week. Gotten a lot of good messages already in that butterfly. Okay, we got the Child. We got the Wheel of Fortune. Oh, okay, let's see. And we got the Dolphins. Okay, I kind of really already know what this message is from Source. The Wheel of Fortune is basically saying, everything is in complete divine order. All things that have cause and effect are playing themselves out. And there's a definite synchronicity, synchronous way to the universe. So the forces of the universe are really at work, of course, as they always are. But the universe wants to remind you of something. through all of your experience for the coming week, just remember, and I want to say these two go together in answer to that. Remember to stay in a lighthearted place, okay? From a love standpoint, stay in a really lighthearted place. Try not to overthink things. If you're dealing with emotions and stuff, try not to go too deep into it, because what I'm getting at is if there's anything going on with you, or first of all, if it's you, you might not care. You might be having the dolphin fun with that person anyways. But, if you end up dealing with some backlash from the other person who says, oh, wait, I didn't really want you to do that, whatever. It doesn't, where you have to stay is in a really lighthearted place with your experience, You want to keep your sense of humor. Don't think too much about it, because when it all comes down to it, you're innocent, like a child. And yet you aren't. You have that higher aspect. You have that higher self. You're in that metamorphosis stage of the butterfly, right? But it all returns us to the innocence of the child. And, our answers to weathering storms and, dealing with uncomfortable situations is always in lightening up a little bit and allowing. Children kind of are so much more resilient than we are sometimes, in that they're really able to kind of roll with the punches. They don't take things as seriously as we do. Now they're forming their, feelings, their belief systems on what they see. So don't get me wrong, they're being imprinted with what they see and what they feel. But overall, their general attitude is, oh, well, okay, and go on about their way most of the time. Even the ones that go, what? I don't like this right now. They end up going, oh, okay, I'm over it and I'm on my merry way at some point. They don't throw their temper tantrums forever, right? Only for a period of time. And then they're kind of like, everything seems new to them. Oh, it's a new day. It's a new day. Oh, I forgot what happened yesterday. That right there is the most important energy, I think, the most important piece of information that's come through from Source in all of this reading, is that stay in that, playful place. Try to stay in that place of joy. Try and stay in that higher self. The tracks assure us that, everything in this relationship or this love experience that we have, it's all moving forward. This transportation we're taking, called this journey, the catalytic heart awakening journey, whatever you want to call it, that its destination is sure. There's no way you're getting off these tracks. You might want to, but you're going to get where you're going, because the universe is at work. The universe is at work and it's got you. So it's the forces of the universe is what really pops out at me. The forces in the universe are at work. So know that person, that they're feeling this way, no matter what. Like when it comes to you and how they feel about you, they're feeling this way. Circumstances, no matter what your circumstances are, I mean, you can always decide, what you accept and don't accept, if that comes up into circumstance. But I think that I'm just going to leave it there. I think the bottom line is, the Source is saying, go forth in your love relationship and your relationship with your love life in general. Go forth with the playfulness of the dolphins and the wide-eyed innocence of the child, and try to stay in that energy, because that's going to, essentially, that's what carries you through everything. That's what brings you through a storm and gets you on the other side. Like I said, you're sitting here with this head of the pack. I'm feeling you're feeling pretty good about stuff in your relationship. You're feeling pretty good. There's success sitting right here for you. So anyways, that is the week of May 12th, which is Sunday, through Saturday, May 18th. And of course, There's a little bit in here for everybody. Not everything's going to resonate with everybody. Maybe none of this will resonate with you. And if not, you probably have already turned off the video. So anyways, I hope that that is of help to you. I look forward to the next reading that I do for you the next week after this week. All right? Thank you so much, and I hope you have a wonderful week. Namaste.